I made a decision, and the decision is that I will most probably sell Windrose. It's too much of a stretch. I loved every minute of it, but I can do with a smaller boat. I want to do other things in life. I've made her to perfection as I did with the other boats, and I'm happy to sell her to the next owner, of whom I hope will absolutely adore and love this boat, because that's what I do. I love this boat. It's such a nice boat. But it's not for me, it's for somebody else. So she will be for sale. Okay. Plot twist. You go to bed, you wake up, and you want to sell the boat. Well, you just did a 24-hour sale, was all happy with yourself, was laying in the city that you like. What happened, Jan? Well, actually, I looked at the weather forecast and I saw 5 gusting 6. And something just clicked in my mind. Because some point along this road of, hey, welcome back to Sailing Windrose storyline, we made the decision that I would be going to try if I could sail Windrose solo. And I tried, and I think I've proven that I can. But in all honesty, it has never been very comfortable necessarily. If everything works out, I'm extremely happy to be there. Which is funny, because how weird is it that you get where you're actually aiming for? But okay. But with Windrose, on my own, 8 tons of boat, 50 square meters of sail, if I'm correct, or 80, I don't even know. I think it's 50. Centerboard, long keel, aluminum. To be honest, quite a bit of an investment. It felt like I was walking on my toes, as we say in the Netherlands. And it just didn't feel comfortable. And I was wondering, why am I actually doing this? Why am I pushing on with a boat that is a little bit too big for me, in all essence? And I thought I could sell her and then try to find a new one. Spoiler alert. So on the one hand, it felt really bad because I had done so much work on Windrose and I really, honestly, truly loved that boat. On the other, it felt like a liberation. So I thought, okay, let's take a bit more time to think about things. It enlightened me in that sense, lighted my world a bit. And then, bring her home and see if I still, after 2 days, think and feel the same. So there we go. All right, let's open up the world. Welcome, Amsterdam. I got up at 9:30. Made myself a nice little breakfast here, which I'm going to enjoy with a cup of coffee in the Kuip, zoals het heet. First clean up this, because I hate it if mess is still there, and then I'll catch you back. I find this really funny. Look at that central station. This is actually the best spot of them all. I don't think I'm allowed to stay here, but this is an amazing spot. Yeah, it makes me very happy to be here for various reasons. you see a lot of stuff that you already know, but this is how my house also got delivered. With, as we say in Dutch, slepertje. That's my son coming in with the ferry to pick me up and to take Windrose home for the last time. That's how we'll be selling her. That's said. That's it. Up to a new adventure. The next generation at the helm. So, cleaning up the ship, making it ready for sail. And then I do not mean sail Amsterdam 2019. I mean selling it, which doesn't feel very good, but is very necessary if I want to continue my sailing career, I think. So it is out with a lot of things, CDs, stuff, books and everything. Making the ship, getting rid of everything that is supposed to be mine. And cleaning her up with a little bit of sopje. Doing some final work, cleaning up the cabin top. There is a bit of mold on this. To see if I can get it out. That would be nice. I already scraped all the paint off from the teak. I wouldn't say it's in one color at the moment, to be honest. So now it can turn gray. And it's a matter of getting everything off. Yeah. That's what it is. I am actually quite happy with the result. Looks some spots here, but in general I would say it looks quite good. Also this looks quite nice again. The hood is, well, way less green than it was, so yeah. I brushed the deck again, it always looks amazing, so I need to do some stuff. One of them is brush the hangborden, the gutters, and she's about ready, I guess. Ready as she'll ever be. What I really like about vlogging is that you hear yourself say, ready as she'll ever be, and then the broker came in and actually looked at the teak and said, well, why is it in 600 colors? I was like, well, I don't know. He said, did you really get all the paint off? I was like, well, I don't know. We can try again. So the teak deck actually looks like this. But then I turned the blade around of the scraper. And then you can really get the paint off. So then it looks like this, which is... Well, you will see it with daylight because the tent is on now, but that is a massive difference. By the way, the spray hood is off, as you can see, because that is to the sailmaker, because this is rubbing. Isn't that bad over there, but it is bad over here, rubbing against the hood, and this thing is like flopping a little bit, and then it kind of wears out the thread. So I have it re-threaded, and I'm going to get an extra protection layer on the spray hood, but I'll show you when I'm done. But now I'm busy with my Scanvic. I would say this is my most used tool in the world. I'm not sure how much wood I have scraped the paint off, but it's a lot. And the thing is that if you have a blade that is like not sharp anymore, that really kills your performance. So you have to add some heat, and now I don't actually have to add heat. I can just scrape it off. You can really see the difference. This is the wood, it's greasy like what, and then there's paint, and it's like dirty and everything. So yeah, I'm super happy with this because this really brightens up the deck, and it deserves it. So I have to put a bit of varnish on that, but for that it needs to be dry. I'm gonna sand it a bit. Yeah, you want to have it like when you get this boat, you want to go out and sail and don't bother with cleaning decks and stuff. So I'll do that for you. Potential next owner, I hope you like it. So this is your deck in the making, boys and girls. So at least we know one thing. If you clean it all up, it looks pretty good. There's some darker areas there, but I think it's just a different color of wood. Same goes a little bit over there. I think it's because of all the entries and exits on the brugdeck. But it looks pretty good to me. En dat Dutch we have a saying, en dat is als je dan toch bezig bent, if you're on it anyway, then you can better continue. And yeah, there was more teak to do, definitely. I don't know how this looks to you, but this to me is a heart. How lovely. And I am almost broken. Oh, this is so heavy, but it's so good to do it because this again is like all fluent. This actually feels soft as well, but this feels a bit more roughish, obviously, because I'm using a scraper to get the paint off, which you see here. But I think it's a good thing to do because it was extremely uneven. Because yes, I am quite... Yeah, I like a lot of things, but I don't like painting. I don't know why. And I also don't like paint because somehow, especially on teak wood, this is like greasy from itself. Like fat. I'm not sure if you call it fat. In Dutch you call it fat, but fat. Vettig. Houtvettig. But so that means that paint really doesn't really stick, which is what you see, because the gray stuff is basically no paint coming through, and then there is some paint and some paint here and some paint there, so it's like, yeah, not good. And then if you scraped it off, actually it looks amazing. So this will be a transformation of the cockpit, because I already did all the bunker, all the seats, which is so much work. But I've done it. I'm happy with it. It looks amazing. So the new owner will be quite happy with that. Oh, my fingers are like crazy. Dutch we say, van groot naar klein. And then this one is in the middle. Those are the two smallest ones. The biggest one is done. Yes! Now let's get working on this one. I'm done. That's the last one. I just sanded it down. So I now need to just clean the Kuip, and then once everything is clean, I can put them back in and look how it looks, and I think it will look amazing. So let's have a look. So some spots are wet, like that spot, and that already dried. This is drying. So you actually kind of see it. But this is the Kuipvloer. And that looks a whole lot better to me. It actually really transforms the boat. Lovely. It's going to be all grey now, obviously, because it's not painted as per desire of the new customer, although we don't know the guy. But this is what the broker said. He said, no paint, okay. No oil, okay. No teak sealer. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I'm not so sure how this is going to look if it's grey. But anyway, I will paint these with varnish, because that's a bit, well, not nice. And besides that, we're all good. So need to clean that again, because I just cleaned it. But yeah, I really think that this looks a lot better. De laatste keer, mannen. Geen reddingsvesten. Niet naar Smalland voor de verandering. Alhoewel hinderlopen wel een klein beetje Smalland is. Toch? Miniature land. But yeah, this is it. Last time through the lock with this ship. Looking forward to the next one. Yeah, well, this is it, right? At least I thought this was it. You know, if the boat wouldn't have been sold, then it would have probably come back through the lock. But yeah, for now, this was it. This was the moment where Windrose was being handed over to De Valk from Hinderlopen. The broker, I think they're an international company. Johan picked her up. There are two Johans, but in this case it was Johan N. I'll call him Johan N for privacy reasons. Great guy, very friendly. They did the intake of the boat. They came all the way from Hinderlopen to Amsterdam. And they offered to pick her up, and I took the offer. So off she went to Hinderlopen. And I actually think Johan really enjoyed it, because it was lovely weather. This guy has a great job. He had a good day on the boat. But for me, it was a bit emotional to see her go. But yeah, that's it. There she goes. Mooi, hè? So I'm not gonna tell a whole lot of details on how she was sold. I can tell you that there are two people that actually bought this boat that really, really like it. So you know who you are if you're looking at this. I honestly, truly hope you have an amazing time on Windrose. Or actually the new name of the boat. There will always be some recognition with the Frisian flag in the mast, but I actually feel, know and trust that these two people are very, very happy with her, and I wish them all the best with the ship, because she deserves somebody or somebody's, two people that go and do what she was intended to do, sail, live on, etc. And I was not going to do it, and I get goosebumps now. I actually really think that De Valk Hinderlopen was able to bring us together, and that makes me extremely happy. So all the best with Windrose, there too. And for all the other YouTubers, yeah, I have not offered it on YouTube. It was sold rather quickly, trust me. If not, I would have offered it on YouTube. But it goes to say that subscribing at the Valk in the Lopen, and I did not get any discounts or whatever, so It's just my personal recommendation. Yeah, might help you. So they have a newsletter. Don't hesitate to subscribe. And for me, all of a sudden I didn't have a boat anymore. So yeah, what do, right? Well, I guess see you next time. And as I might be changing the channel name, because that is sort of connected to the name of the boat, and the new boat that you might see actually has a different name, I decided to change the channel name as well. So if you actually want to know what happens, hit subscribe. If I can actually change the channel name, I don't know that, but if I can, that it will be different. And if not, search for Springvis, and you might find me, or I might pop up in your feed somewhere. I don't know. We will meet again. I will keep vlogging, and I will give you an introduction to the new boat in the coming episodes. So for now, fair winds, following seas. You both enjoy the boat, and see all of you later whenever we see you again.